What's up, baseball fans? So for some odd reason, if you missed it, baseball is coming back. And if you missed my last video of my top storylines for this upcoming season, you can see that video right here. But for this upcoming season, there will be a universal DH implemented in both the American League and the National League. And today, I wanted to go over my National League teams that will benefit the most from a universal DH. So let's get to the teams that will benefit the most from having a DH. At number 10, I have the Arizona Diamondbacks. This is a team that's flying under the radar a little bit this year, considering they're in the same division as the Dodgers, but the Diamondbacks have a solid lineup with guys like Ketel Marte and Eduardo Escobar in the middle, and they made some key additions this offseason by trading for Starling Marte and signing Cole Calhoun. With the implementation of the DH, the Diamondbacks will gain even more. With the DH, this allows the Diamondbacks to be more versatile, especially with a guy like Josh Rojas on the roster. In the minors in 2019, he hit .332 with 23 homers, 83 RBIs, and stole 33 bases. Not only that, but he can practically play anywhere in the field. Having his versatility will allow other guys like David Peralta and Eduardo Escobar to keep getting at bats if they need a day off in the field. The Diamondbacks will definitely benefit from having a DH. At number 9, I have the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies will definitely find some use with the DH spot, and one guy comes to mind immediately, and that's Andrew McCutchen. Coming off an ACL tear that cost him most of his 2019 season, as well as a career negative 56 defensive runs saved in the outfield, McCutchen's bat would fit perfectly in the DH spot. Last year in 219 at-bats before getting hurt, he had 10 homers, 29 RBIs, and an .834 OPS. Even though McCutchen has never been a great center fielder defensively, he has shown the ability to play well in left field with a career 5 defensive runs saved at the position. This could allow Jay Bruce, who is a better fielder than McCutchen, to stay in the lineup if he needs a day off from the field. If someone were to go down with an injury, it could allow some flexibility for top prospect Alec Bohm to come up and get some at-bats. Maybe Rhys Hoskins or Gene Segura suffers an injury and some reshuffling needs to happen. Plugging Alec Bohm into one of those positions or simply into the DH spot would be very handy. Overall, the DH gives the Phillies flexibility for their key offensive players, which is never a bad thing. At number 8, I have the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers are going to love having a DH this year, considering they have a lot of guys on the roster vying for playing time. You got Matt Beaty in an infield that's pretty cramped, AJ Pollock and Jock Peterson looking for more time with Mookie Betts and Cody Bellinger holding down 2 spots in the outfield. There's even first baseman Edwin Rios, who hit 31 homers at AAA last year, but Max Muncy already has that spot taken. Personally, I think AJ Pollock would be a great fit for the DH spot, considering the fact that his defense isn't like what it used to be in Arizona, shown with his -10 defensive runs saved last year, but his OPS last year was still close to his career average. Either way, the Dodgers have a lot of options for the DH spot this year. At number 7, I have the New York Mets. The Mets are a team that have options all over the place for a DH. The first name that comes to mind is Yoenis Cespedes, who's been dealing with injuries since 2017. He's shown this past offseason that he's healthy and doing well, and with his bat, he seems to be a perfect fit for the DH spot. However, it doesn't stop there. This can allow the Mets to keep JD Davis in the lineup as well if he needs a day off from the field, as well as Robinson Cano, who's not getting any younger and had -6 defensive runs saved last year, which would allow the Mets to get some better defense at second. Which brings us to Jed Lowry, who's returning this season after dealing with knee issues all of last year. If he's healthy, he could see some time at second if Cano is DH for a day, or he could simply slide into the DH spot as well. The DH gives the Mets a lot more flexibility. At number 6, I have the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs already have a perfect DH in Kyle Schwarber, who has -9 defensive runs saved in the outfield for his career, but he hit 38 homers last year. This will also be beneficial for guys like Steven Souza Jr., who's coming off an ACL tear that caused him to miss all of 2019, along with dealing some injuries back in 2018, but in 2017, he hit 30 homers. It could even benefit backup catcher Victor Caratini, who hit 11 homers and 244 at-bats last year. Ultimately, though, this will be most likely Schwarber's spot, giving the Cubs an outfield of Souza Jr., Ian Happ, and Jason Hayward. For a team that lost Nick Castellanos, who hit 16 homers for them after being traded from the Tigers, they're going to need all the offense they can get. At number 5, I have the Colorado Rockies. You would think the Rockies would benefit more on the offensive side with a DH, but what it actually does is give them the opportunity to improve on defense. The Rockies ranked 8th in runs scored last season, but on the defensive side, they ranked 19th according to Fangraphs. Having a DH could allow the Rockies' top prospect, Brendan Rodgers, who's an above-average fielder, to play second, while Ryan McMahon, who hit 24 homers last season, can stay in the lineup. They could also slide someone there like Ian Desmond, who had negative 21 defensive runs saved last season, but does enough with the bat to contribute. Simply put, this can help the Rockies not only with the offense, but the defense as well. At number 4, I have the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers are always a team that finds a way to put good teams on the field, even if they don't have the most talent. I think the Brewers are going to benefit immensely from having a DH this year, especially after losing both Eric Thames and Mike Moustakas this past offseason. However, they already have the perfect guy in Ryan Braun to fill the DH spot. In 2019, he hit .285 with 22 homers, 75 RBIs, and had an OPS of .848, but in the field, he had -3 defensive runs saved. But with Braun most likely moving there for the most part, this allows them to use newcomer Avisail Garcia in the outfield now, who's a better fielder, and he hit .282, 20 homers, 72 RBIs, and had a .796 OPS last year with the Rays. It also allows Justin Smoak to be the full-time first baseman, who hit 22 homers and had a solid .342 on-base percentage for the Blue Jays last year. This will also free up some more space for another newcomer in Brock Holt to take more advantage of his super utility role. At number 3, I have the Cincinnati Reds. For the Reds, they benefit a lot from having a universal DH simply due to the fact that they have a lot of outfielders looking for playing time and already have a really good hitter in Nick Castellanos. According to Fangraphs, Castellanos had -9 defensive runs saved last year between the Tigers and the Cubs, so that alone makes him a good candidate for the DH spot. On the roster, there's also guys like newcomer Shogo Akiyama, a potential future stud in Aristides Aquino, along with outfielders Jesse Winkler and Nick Senzel. Overall, this gives the Reds more flexibility, which will be vital for them considering they're a team that has the talent to make the playoffs. At number 2, I have the St. Louis Cardinals. In 2019, the Cardinals ranked 19th in the majors with 764 runs, and it really showed when they ran into some good pitching on the Nationals when they scored only 6 runs in the NLCS, in which they got swept. In the offseason, they proceeded to lose one of the best bats they had in Marcell Ozuna, who hit 29 homers, 89 RBIs, and had a solid OPS of 800. However, with the DH, the Cardinals have some options here. The most important thing to me is this will allow Tommy Edman to get some more at-bats, most likely with Matt Carpenter getting more at-bats at DH, with Edman getting more time at third. Edman is a solid bat as he hit .304 last year along with 11 homers with an OPS of .850 and 326 at-bats as a rookie. Edman can also play at short and second along with the outfield, which could give more at-bats to outfielders like Tyler O'Neill and Lane Thomas. The Cardinals offense are going to need any boost they can get, so having the DH will only benefit them. And at number 1, I have the Washington Nationals. The Nationals had arguably the biggest loss this past offseason with Anthony Rendon heading to the Angels. They're going to need all hands on deck to replace his 6.4 wins above replacement, and while they can't necessarily just single-handedly replace him, they can take advantage of the DH spot now with a few guys. They do have the number 21 overall prospect, Carter Kieboom, that's ready to take over the position, but with the DH spot, they have some more options to fill the gap in offense, such as Howie Kendrick and Asdrubal Cabrera, who aren't getting any younger. Eric Thames, if he needs a day off at first, along with Ryan Zimmerman, who hit 36 homers just a few years ago. Overall, I think the Nationals will use more of a rotation of guys in the DH spot, and to me, that's the best option they have to replace Rendon, and could very well be a key contributor in possibly repeating as World Series champions. So those are the National League teams to me that benefit the most from having a DH. Tell me down below in the comments, what teams do you think benefit the most from having a DH? But that's all I got for right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.